Hi everyone, welcome to Life Tips by Ning. In today's video, I'm sharing explanations for the 53rd hexagram in I-Ching. It's called Gradual Progress. The reason it's called Gradual Progress or development is based on the image of this hexagram because the internal triagram is mountain. Mountain means standing very steady and still. It represents this patiently step-by-step action. Eventually, it takes a long time to reach a goal rather than this hasty, impatient, and I want to get there taking shortcut type of mentality. Because gradual progress will eventually create masterpiece. Any rushed or shortcut-based approach might give you short-term success, but it's gonna crumble very soon. The external triagram is a wind. Wind represents this flexible quality and being very adaptable. This is why the entire hexagram and each line is using the seasonal migration of geese as explanations because they do this incredible migration based on the exchange of summer and winter. So it's saying act like the wind, follow the natural rhythm and the way of the universe and nature. That's how you end up being successful. So combining the two together is saying don't rush into things. Take the time, enjoy the process, and build a super solid foundation. And over a long period of time, you will reach a supreme success that's outshines most people who don't put in the effort and the work, and that success will last for quite a long time. Looking at individual lines, the first line is saying this group of geese, they're all sitting by the water edge at the lower spot. It's simplifying that this is your first time doing something, you're lacking experience. So it's either because of your young age or lack of experience, you might run into quite a bit hurdles or danger. Just like the younger geese in the group, what should they do to protect themselves? They need to first take caution and be well prepared. Second, learn from people who have more experience than you. Learn from the older guys who's done this before, right? Once you're being prepared, stay alert and begin with caution. Even though you might start with a disadvantage, you're actually able to prevent yourself from a bunch of hidden danger and turn the final result into a neutral and no blame status, which is pretty good as a beginning state. And moving to the second line, this is saying the group of geese has been flying for a while. They need to take a pit stop and rest. And they're lucky enough to find a very flat rock in the middle of a lake. And they take a break, they enjoy their time, and they can feast from the lake while being quite protected from predators. So it's a very peaceful and enjoyable situation. It's saying that you can also enjoy your family's company. You can take a lot of good food, also absorb a lot of knowledge, skill, and moral quality. That gives you the feel necessary for the long journey ahead. So this is a very positive one. You're being in a very kind of stable, settled state and feeling quite comfortable. The third line, not so much, because this is a young line in the ending stage of this internal triagram, meaning that you should go with the flow, you should have the patience and gradually doing something. But this is a young line with the young energy sitting in the third position, the odd position. So this person had this default desire to take action. I just have the urge. Rather, even though the group is resting at their third pit stop, this guy is like, I don't want to wait with you anymore. I have no patience left. I want to go out, venture on my own. By doing so, he will incur great danger for himself because he's giving up this group power, the protection, by sticking together with a group. So it means taking any rash action will bring a lot of loss and danger. So if you land on the third line, it's actually better to stick with your group. Be more passive, be in the defense rather than aggressively taking any outward action or new adventure. The fourth line, this is another stage after they leave the third line's land. Now they've been flying for a while. They need to take a break again. However, they're unable to find any flat land or any lake or any of those awesome spots to take a break. Then what should they do? They make do. They're very crafty with what the environment gives. That's the spirit of this external wind triagram. It's adaptable. So they were able to find a bunch of trees and their flat tree branches that they can land on and rest, and also protect some sort of a natural protective screen. So it gives you this connotation of you're able to leverage whatever resources you can find to prevent disaster, that make do with something, even though the fourth line not necessarily meaning that you have achieved any major milestone or any success, but by being smart and crafty with the resources, you can prevent yourself from potential risk and give yourself the necessary rest. So it's able to land at a neutral and no blame result as well. And moving to the fifth one, this is like the long stretch, the last little step. That's really a testing moment. Like most people give up at this stage because they've been flying for so long and they're exhausted. But the end is really close. That's where a lot of people give up. But it's saying don't. The success will come, but it will be delayed success because the migration journey is so long. Rather, you should have perseverance and grit. Eventually, you will gain that supreme success. It might take 3 years, or 3 years could be interpreted as a long duration of time before you see the actual result, but it's encouraging you to keep up with it, to keep on going. The reason it says 3 years is because the fifth line and the second line are natural corresponding pair together, and it takes the fifth line 3 spots to meet the second line. So it goes from 1 spot, 2 spot, and 3 spot. That's why the line description says it's 3 years later, you will see a fruitful outcome. The top line, this is a supreme landing. It's finally there, and then it's flying back in the summertime, right? So they're flying south in the winter time and they're flying back north in the summertime. This group of geese made the full migration miracle journey, and there's nothing short of to be celebrated. And you accomplished a super difficult goal, and you become an example for others to learn. You set the example for how it should be done, and you're a legacy to other people. So you're kind of like a spiritual encouragement, like, yes, this can be done, and this is how it can be done, and to last a very sustainable, positive outcome. So this one is very supremely positive result as well. But it's not easy to get there because you cannot rush, you cannot give up. It's teaching us all this life wisdom to eventually read mastery of something, whatever your goal is. So that's the teaching of the 53rd hexagram. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.